Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me for another restful episode of true scary stories to help you fall asleep. Today, we're going to be reading true missing person horror stories. I hope you enjoy them. I also want to thank Campfire Tales for reading the first story in this video. The link to his channel is in the description down below. Make sure that you go check him out and give him a subscription. He does some good work over there. So now, without further ado, lay back, relax, and enjoy these true scary stories.
Connie Converse, a woman whose story is as haunting as the melodies she left behind. Picture it, the 1950s, a time of sock hops, jukeboxes, and dreams of stardom. Connie, with her honeyed voice and nimble fingers on the guitar, seemed destined for greatness. She poured her heart and soul into her music, playing in smoky bars and dimly lit cafes, hoping for that one big break that would catapult her into the limelight. But fame, it seemed, was a fickle mistress. Despite her undeniable talent, Connie's star never quite rose as high as she had hoped. She watched from the sidelines as others soared to success, their names splashed across billboards and record covers, while hers remained a mere whisper in the wind. Frustrated and disillusioned, Connie made a decision that would change the course of her life forever. In 1974, she disappeared without a trace, leaving behind her old life in all its disappointments. Some say she simply grew weary of chasing a dream that seemed always just out of reach, while others whisper of darker forces at play, secrets lurking in the shadows that Connie stumbled upon and paid dearly for.
This story will leave you questioning what lurks in the shadows of small-town America. This is the story of the Springfield 3, a disappearance so baffling, it's left investigators scratching their heads for decades. It all began in the quiet town of Springfield, Missouri, in the summer of 1992. Cheryl Levitt, a single mother, and her daughter Suzanne Streeter were looking forward to a night of celebration. Suzanne had just graduated from high school, and what better way to mark the occasion than with a girls' night in? They invited Suzanne's friend, Stacy McCall, over to join the festivities. But as the night wore on, what should have been a joyous occasion turned into a nightmare. The next morning, Cheryl, Suzanne, and Stacy were nowhere to be found. Their cars were parked outside, their purses and belongings left behind. But of the women themselves, there was no sign. As news of their disappearance spread, the tight-knit community of Springfield was thrown into a frenzy. Search parties scoured the town. Investigators combed through leads. But as the days turned into weeks and then months, hope began to fade. To this day, the fate of Springfield 3 remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. What happened to Cheryl, Suzanne, and Stacy on that fateful night? Were they abducted by a stranger? Or did someone closer to home hold the key to their disappearance? Theories abound, each one more chilling than the last. Some speculate that the women stumbled upon something they weren't meant to see, while others believe that they were targeted by a predator, lurking in the shadows of their own community. But one thing is for certain: the truth is out there, waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to seek it. Until then, the Springfield 3 will remain a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurks just beneath the surface of small-town America. This is the captivating story of Amy Lynn Bradley, a young woman whose disappearance on the high seas continues to baffle and intrigue to this day. In the balmy summer of 1998, Amy embarked on a Caribbean cruise adventure with her family, seeking sun-soaked days and the promise of adventure on the open waters. Little did they know that their journey would take an unexpected and harrowing turn, forever altering the course of their lives. As the cruise ship glided through the azure waters, Amy, with her infectious smile and zest for life, reveled in the excitement of the voyage. Yet, one faithful night, amidst the laughter and camaraderie, tragedy struck. Amy vanished without a trace, leaving her family stricken with shock and disbelief. The details of that night remain shrouded in uncertainty, like a dense fog rolling in from the sea. Some speculate that Amy, perhaps disoriented or overcome by the allure of the ocean, may have accidentally fallen overboard, swallowed by the vast expanse of water that stretched out before them. Yet, as investigators delved deeper into the case, darker theories began to emerge. Could Amy have been the victim of foul play, abducted from the safety of her own ship by someone with sinister intentions? Sightings of a woman bearing a striking resemblance to Amy have been reported over the years, tantalizing clues that offer a glimmer of hope to her family, but also raise unsettling questions about what really transpired on that fateful night. The years have passed, but the mystery of Amy Lynn Bradley's disappearance endures, etched into the annals of maritime lore like a cryptic message in a bottle. Her family, haunted by unanswered questions and the ache of loss, continue to search for answers, clinging to hope, even as the currents of time threaten to wash away their resolve. As the sun sets on another day, casting a golden glow upon the restless sea, one can't help but wonder what secrets lie hidden beneath its shimmering surface. And until the truth is finally revealed, the enigma of Amy Lynn Bradley will remain a haunting reminder of the fragile line between serenity and peril on the high seas. Let's dive into the haunting mystery surrounding Rebecca Corium's disappearance, unraveling the threads of intrigue and uncertainty that have captivated the world. Rebecca, a vibrant and adventurous young woman, found herself embarking on the opportunity of a lifetime in 2011 when she secured a position as a youth counselor aboard a Disney cruise ship. It was a dream job for the 24-year-old from Chester, England, allowing her to combine her passion for travel with her love for working with children. However, what began as a journey filled with excitement and promise soon took a chilling turn. On March 22, 2011, while the ship was sailing off the coast of Mexico, Rebecca vanished without a trace. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance are as baffling as they are distressing. Initial reports suggested that Rebecca was last seen on the ship's deck, talking on the phone, her demeanor appearing troubled. However, conflicting accounts emerged, with some crew members recalling seeing her in good spirits earlier that day. One of the most puzzling aspects of the case is the alleged CCTV footage that purportedly captured Rebecca in a distressed state shortly before she disappeared. However, the footage has not been publicly released, leaving many questions unanswered. As news of Rebecca's disappearance spread, a massive search effort was launched, spanning both the ship and the surrounding waters. Despite the extensive search and rescue operations conducted by maritime authorities, no sign of Rebecca was found. It was as if she had simply vanished into thin air. In the wake of Rebecca's disappearance, theories and speculation ran rampant. Some suggested that she may have fallen overboard, a tragic accident that would account for her sudden disappearance. Others, however, entertained darker possibilities, hinting at the potential involvement of foul play. Rebecca's family, devastated by her disappearance, refused to give up hope. They tirelessly campaigned for answers, calling for a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding her vanishing. Private investigators were enlisted to aid in the search for clues, yet the truth remained frustratingly elusive. As the years passed, the case of Rebecca Corium's disappearance continued to captivate the public's attention, featured in documentaries and news reports that sought to shed light on the mystery. Yet, despite the passage of time, no conclusive answers have been found. To this day, the fate of Rebecca Corium remains unknown, her disappearance serving as a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden beneath the surface of the sea. Until the truth is uncovered, her family and loved ones continue to cling to hope, their hearts filled with the bittersweet memories of a young woman whose light was extinguished far too soon. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to journey into one of the most perplexing mysteries in recent memory: the disappearance of Mora Murray, a young woman whose vanishing act in rural New Hampshire continues to baffle investigators and armchair detectives alike. In February of 2004, Mora, a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, seemingly vanished into thin air after crashing her car on a desolate stretch of road in Haverhill, New Hampshire. What began as a routine drive quickly spiraled into a baffling enigma that has left countless of questions in its wake. The events leading up to Mora's disappearance are shrouded in mystery and speculation. On the evening of February 9th, Mora borrowed her father's car and set off on a journey north, ostensibly to take a spontaneous trip to the White Mountains. However, her plans took a dark turn when she lost control of her vehicle and crashed into a snowbank along Route 112. Witnesses report seeing Mora at the scene of the accident, seemingly unharmed but visibly shaken. Strangely, when police arrived just minutes later, Mora was nowhere to be found. It was as if she had vanished into the wintry night, leaving behind no trace of her whereabouts. The subsequent search for Mora spanned days, weeks, and eventually years, as investigators combed through the rugged terrain of New Hampshire's wilderness in search of clues. Despite extensive efforts, no sign of Mora was found, leading to a myriad of theories and speculation about her fate. Some believe that Mora, distraught and disoriented after the accident, may have wandered into the woods and succumbed to the elements. Others entertain the possibility of foul play, suggesting that she may have encountered someone with ill intentions in the remote wilderness. Compounding the mystery are several puzzling details surrounding Mora's disappearance. In the days leading up to the incident, she exhibited behavior that some describe as erratic, including sending cryptic emails and withdrawing money from her bank account in what appeared to be preparation for an extended absence. As the years have passed, the case of Mora Murray has garnered widespread attention, inspiring countless armchair detectives to delve into the details in search of answers. Documentaries, podcasts, and online forums have all sought to shine a light on the mystery, but the truth remains elusive. To this day, the fate of Mora Murray remains unknown, her disappearance serving as a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden in the shadows. As the years stretch on, her family and loved ones continue to hold out hope for answers, clinging to the belief that one day, the truth will finally be revealed. Prepare to journey back in time to an era enshrouded in intrigue and mystery. This is the enigmatic tale of Benjamin Bathurst, a British diplomat whose vanishing act in the midst of the Napoleonic Wars has left historians and conspiracy theorists alike scratching their heads for centuries. It was the year 1809, and Europe was engulfed in the flames of war as Napoleon Bonaparte's empire expanded to reach across the continent. In the midst of this chaos, Benjamin Bathurst, a respected British diplomat, found himself on a perilous journey from Vienna to Hamburg, tasked with navigating the treacherous political landscape of the time. However, fate had other plans for Benjamin. As he and his entourage made their way through the war-torn countryside, disaster struck. In the small town of Perlberg, Germany, Benjamin disappeared without a trace, leaving behind nothing but speculation and conjecture. The circumstances of Benjamin's disappearance are as mysterious as they are perplexing. Some suggest that he fell victim to habits or enemy spies, abducted in the dead of night and spirited away to an unknown fate. Others entertain the possibility of more nefarious forces at play, suggesting that Benjamin may have stumbled upon a dark conspiracy that led to his untimely demise. Adding to the intrigue are the accounts of eyewitnesses who claim to have seen Benjamin in the days and weeks following his disappearance. Some reported sightings of a disheveled and disoriented man wandering the countryside, while others claimed to have heard rumors of a British diplomat being held captive in a nearby castle. Yet, despite the passage of time and the tireless efforts of historians and amateur sleuths alike, the truth behind Benjamin Bathurst's disappearance remains elusive. His fate remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the Napoleonic era, a riddle wrapped in the fog of war and the whispers of history. To this day, Benjamin Bathurst's vanishing act continues to captivate the imagination, inspiring countless theories and speculation about what really happened on that fateful day in 1809. As the years stretch on and the shadows of history grow ever deeper, one can't help but wonder, will the truth ever be revealed, or will Benjamin's fate remain forever lost to the sands of time? This is the perplexing story of Joan Rish, a young mother whose disappearance from her suburban home in Lincoln, Massachusetts, continues to haunt investigators and armchair detectives alike. It was the year 1961, and Joan Rish was living the quintessential American dream: a devoted wife, a loving mother, and a pillar of her community. But on a seemingly ordinary October day, that dream took a nightmarish turn. On the morning of October 24th, neighbors made a disturbing discovery. Joan's 2-year-old daughter, wandering alone outside their home, her clothes stained with blood. Inside the house, they found signs of a struggle, bloodstains smeared across the floors and walls, and a telephone ripped from its cord. But of Joan Rish, there was no sign. She had vanished without a trace, leaving behind a mystery that would baffle investigators for decades to come. The events leading up to Joan's disappearance are as confounding as they are disturbing. Witnesses reported seeing a mysterious figure, possibly Joan herself, wandering the neighborhood in a disoriented state on the morning of her disappearance. Some even claimed to have heard screams coming from the Rish home in the hours before she vanished. In the days and weeks that followed, a massive search effort was launched, spanning the town and its surrounding areas. Yet, despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement and volunteers, no sign of Joan was ever found. Theories abound as to what may have happened to Joan Rish on that fateful day. Some speculate that she may have fallen victim to foul play, abducted by an unknown assailant who lurked in the shadows of her suburban idol. Others entertain the possibility of a more sinister explanation, suggesting that Joan may have staged her own disappearance, driven to desperation by hidden demons or unspoken secrets. Yet, amidst the uncertainty and speculation, one thing remains clear. The truth behind Joan Rish's disappearance may never be known. Her case remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that lurks just beneath the surface of suburban tranquility. As the years stretch on, and the memories of that fateful day fade into the midst of time, one can't help but wonder, what really happened to Joan Rish? And will her fate ever be revealed? Or will she remain forever lost to the shadows? This is the chilling story of the Jamison family, whose mysterious disappearance in the rugged wilderness of Oklahoma has left investigators scratching their heads and sparked countless theories about their fate. Bobby, Sherilyn, and their young daughter Madison seemed like the picture-perfect American family, but in October of 2009, their lives took a dark and unexpected turn when they vanished without a trace while on a trip to the Sandboys Mountains in eastern Oklahoma. What began as a routine outing soon became a nightmare of uncertainty and fear. The family's abandoned truck was discovered on a remote forest road, its doors unlocked and their belongings scattered inside. But of the Jamison family themselves, there was no sign. As news of their disappearance spread, search parties scoured the rugged terrain of the Sandboys Mountains, hoping to find some clue as to their whereabouts. Yet despite their efforts, no sign of the Jamisons was ever found. The circumstances surrounding their disappearance are as perplexing as they are disturbing. Friends and family members reported that the Jamisons had been acting strangely in the days leading up to their disappearance, with Bobby and Sherilyn expressing fears of being watched and leaving behind cryptic messages about evil spirits and demons. Investigators delved into the family's background, uncovering a tangled web of financial troubles, strained relationships, and whispers of paranormal activity. Some speculated that the family may have fallen victim to foul play, while others entertained the possibility of a more supernatural explanation, suggesting that they may have encountered something otherworldly in the remote wilderness. As the years have passed, the case of the Jamison family has only grown more perplexing, with theories and speculations swirling like the leaves in the autumn breeze. Yet despite the efforts of law enforcement and amateur sleuths alike, the truth behind their disappearance remains elusive. To this day, the fate of the Jameson family remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of civilization. As the years stretch on and the memories of that fateful day fade into legend, one can't help but wonder, what really happened to the Jameson family? And will their fate ever be revealed? Or will they remain forever lost to the wilderness? Let's journey back to the year 1900, to a time when lighthouses stood as solitary beacons of hope in the vast expanse of the ocean, and the rugged shores of the Flannan Isles bore witness to a mystery that would echo through the ages. In the early hours of December 15th, a routine supply visit to the Flannan Isles lighthouse took an ominous turn when the relief keeper, Joseph Moore, arrived to find the island shrouded in an eerie silence. As he climbed the steep path to the lighthouse, he expected to be greeted by the familiar faces of James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur, the three keepers stationed at the outpost. But to his mounting alarm, there was no sign of them. Entering the lighthouse, Moore found it in a state of disarray. The door to the living quarters stood open, chairs were overturned, and the clock had stopped ticking. Yet, despite the signs of a hasty departure, there was no trace of the keepers themselves. The only clue to their whereabouts lay in a cryptic entry in the lighthouse log, penned by Thomas Marshall on December 15th, which simply read, "Storm ended. Sea calm. God is over all." Concerned by the absence of the keepers, Moore signaled for assistance, and a search party was dispatched to scour the island for any sign of them. Yet, despite their efforts, no trace of James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, or Donald MacArthur was ever found. It was as if they had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only questions and speculation. As news of the disappearance spread, the Flannan Isles mystery captured the imagination of the public, sparking a flurry of theories and conjecture about what may have befallen the keepers. Some suggested that they may have been swept away by a rogue wave or succumbed to the harsh elements that battered the island. Others entertained the possibility of foul play, speculating that they may have fallen victim to a quarrel or an accident gone awry. Yet perhaps the most chilling theory of all is that the keepers simply vanished into the mists of the Atlantic, snatched away by forces beyond human comprehension. Tales of supernatural phenomena and otherworld apparitions have long haunted the Flannan Isles, leading some to believe that the keepers may have encountered something far more sinister than the storms that raged around them. In the years that followed, the Flannan Isles mystery became the subject of countless books, articles, and documentaries, each attempting to unravel the enigma of what really happened on that desolate outpost. Yet, despite the passage of time and the tireless efforts of historians and amateur sleuths alike, the truth behind the disappearance of James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur remains elusive. To this day, the fate of the keepers of Flannan Isles Lighthouse remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the sea, a riddle wrapped in the mist and the spay of the Atlantic. As the waves continue to crash against the rocky shores of the Flannan Islands, one can't help but wonder, what secrets lie beneath the surface? And will the truth ever be revealed? Or will it remain forever lost to the depths of the ocean? Ray Gricar's disappearance is a perplexing enigma that has puzzled investigators and intrigued the public for years. To fully appreciate the complexity of this case, let's delve deeper into the life and circumstances surrounding the vanishing of this former district attorney from Center County, Pennsylvania. Ray Gricar was a seasoned prosecutor with a distinguished career spanning over 2 decades. Known for his unwavering dedication to justice and his commitment to upholding the law, Gricar had earned the respect and admiration of his colleagues and the community at large. But in April 2005, his life took a startling turn when he inexplicably vanished without a trace. The events leading up to Gricar's disappearance are shrouded in mystery and speculation. On the morning of April 15th, 2005, Gricar informed his girlfriend that he was taking a drive, intending to spend the day exploring the countryside. He left his home in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, and set off in his red Mini Cooper, never to return. Hours turned into days, and days into weeks, with no sign of Gricar. Concerned friends and family members reported him missing, sparking a massive search effort that spanned the region. Despite the exhaustive efforts of law enforcement agencies, volunteers, and search dogs, no trace of Gricar or his vehicle was ever found. The discovery of Gricar's car added a perplexing layer to the mystery. On April 16th, 2005, his red Mini Cooper was located in a parking lot near the Susquehanna River in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, about 50 miles away from his home. The car was unlocked, and Gricar's cell phone and laptop were missing. However, there were no signs of foul play or struggle at the scene. As investigators combed through Gricar's personal and professional life for clues, they uncovered a series of puzzling details that only deepened the mystery. Prior to his disappearance, Gricar had exhibited behavior that some described as erratic or unusual. He had reportedly searched the internet for information on how to destroy a hard drive and had expressed concerns about being followed or surveilled. Additionally, Gricar's involvement in several high-profile cases raised questions about possible motives for his disappearance. Some speculated that he may have been targeted by individuals seeking retribution or seeking to silence him. Others suggested that Gricar may have chosen to disappear voluntarily, overwhelmed by the pressures of his job, or seeking to start a new life elsewhere. In the years since Gricar's disappearance, countless theories and hypotheses have emerged, ranging from the plausible to the downright bizarre. Some have speculated that Gricar may have suffered a medical emergency or accident, while others have entertained the possibility of foul play or a staged disappearance. Despite the passage of time, Gricar's case remains open and active, with law enforcement agencies continuing to pursue leads and investigate potential sightings. His disappearance has left a void in the lives of his loved ones and the community he served, leaving behind more questions than answers. As the years stretch on, and the memories of Ray Gricar fade into the annals of history, one can't help but wonder, what really happened to this dedicated prosecutor? And will the truth ever be revealed? Or will his fate remain forever shrouded in mystery? Picture this. It's February 2013, and Elisa Lamb, a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada, checks into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Now let me tell you a little something about the Cecil. It's got a reputation, and not the good kind. This place has seen more than its fair share of dark and twisted happenings over the years, from self-unalivings to murders, and everything in between. But Elisa, unaware of the hotel's sordid past, settles into her room, excited to explore the city. Little did she know that her stay at the Cecil would take a turn into the macabre that would captivate the world. It all began when guests at the hotel started complaining about low water pressure and a strange taste in the water. Maintenance workers tasked with investigating the issue made a chilling discovery atop the hotel's roof. Elisa's lifeless body floating in one of the water tanks. Now you might be thinking, How on earth did she end up there? And let me tell you, that's where things start to get really strange. You see, before Elisa's body was found, surveillance footage from the hotel's elevator surfaced, showing her acting in a manner that can only be described as bizarre. In the footage, Elisa can be seen pressing buttons, peering out into the hallway, and even stepping in and out of the elevator, as if she's trying to evade someone, or something. Her movements are erratic, almost trance-like, and it's enough to send shivers down your spine. What was she so afraid of? What unseen force was she trying to escape? The footage went viral, captivating the public's imagination and sparking countless theories about what really happened to Elisa Lam. Some speculated that she was under the influence of drugs or experiencing a psychotic episode, while others entertained the possibility of something more sinister at play. But here's where things really take a turn for the bizarre. You see, the circumstances surrounding Elisa's death are so strange that they've inspired everything from true crime documentaries to internet sleuths, poring over every detail in search of answers. Conspiracy theories abound, with some suggesting that Elisa was the victim of foul play, perhaps at the hands of a fellow guest, or even the hotel staff. Others have floated the idea of something more supernatural at play, pointing at the Cecil's dark history and the strange occurrences that have plagued the hotel for decades. As the years have passed, the mystery of Elisa Lam's disappearance and death has only deepened, with no shortage of speculation and intrigue surrounding the case. The Cecil Hotel, once a place of refuge for wary travelers, now stands as a monument to the unknown, a reminder that sometimes that truth is stranger than fiction. So the next time you find yourself wandering the streets of downtown Los Angeles, spare a thought for Elisa Lam and the unanswered questions that continue to haunt the halls of the Cecil Hotel. And remember, my friends, that sometimes the darkest mysteries are the ones that are never fully solved. This is the story of Diane Augot, a disappearance marked by eerie clues and unsettling mysteries that have left investigators scratching their heads for decades. It all began on a quiet day in April 1998 in the town of Tarpon Springs, Florida, where Diane Augot, a 30-year-old woman known for her free spirit and zest for life, vanished without a trace. It was a seemingly ordinary day when Diane left her home, telling her family that she was going for a walk. Little did they know, it would be the last time that they'd see her. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, with no sign of Diane. But what set her case apart were the bizarre and unsettling clues that she left behind. The first clue came just days after Diane disappeared, when a note was discovered at her home. Written in her own handwriting, the note read, "If anything happens to me, he did it." Now, who he was and what danger Diane felt that she was in remained a mystery, leaving investigators with more questions than answers. But it was the discovery of a severed finger that sent shockwaves through the community and captivated the nation's attention. On a desolate road in Odessa, Florida, a man stumbled upon a grisly find, a severed finger lying on the ground, along with a scrap of paper bearing Diane's name. The finger appeared to have been deliberately cut off, leading to speculation about what grisly fate had befallen Diane. Law enforcement launched a massive search effort, scouring the area for any sign of Diane. Despite their efforts, she remained missing for over a year. Then, in May of 1999, hikers stumbled upon a chilling scene in a wooded area in nearby Hillsborough County. Human skeletal remains, scattered among the underbrush. Dental records confirmed that the remains belonged to Diane Augot, but the circumstances surrounding her death only deepened the mystery. Investigators were left grappling with a multitude of questions. What had happened to Diane in the days leading up to her disappearance? Who was responsible for her death? And perhaps most perplexing of all, what was the significance of the severed finger and the cryptic note? Despite years of investigation, Diane Augot's case remains unsolved, leaving her loved ones searching for closure and justice. The disappearance of Diane Augot is a haunting reminder that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and that the answers we seek may be hidden in the shadows, waiting to be brought to light. Until then, her story will continue to captivate the imagination and fuel speculation about what really happened to her on that fateful day in April 1998. This is the story of Jennifer Keese, a young woman whose vanishing from Orlando, Florida has left investigators and her loved ones grappling with a multitude of unanswered questions and unsettling mysteries. Jennifer was a vivacious 24-year-old professional living in Orlando, Florida, at the time of her disappearance on January 24, 2006. She was a dedicated and ambitious individual, known for her warmth, intelligence, and strong work ethic. Her sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through the community and left her family and friends reeling with disbelief and anguish. The day of Jennifer's disappearance started like any other. She left her apartment in the morning to head to work, ready to tackle the day ahead. But as the hours passed and Jennifer failed to return home, concern grew among her family and colleagues. When she didn't show up for work and couldn't be reached by phone, alarm bells began to ring. The discovery of Jennifer's abandoned car only deepened the mystery surrounding her disappearance. Her black Chevy Malibu was found parked haphazardly in a nearby apartment complex parking lot, approximately 1 mile from her own apartment. Surveillance footage captured an unidentified individual parking the car and walking away. But despite extensive efforts by law enforcement and the community, the person's identity remains unknown to this day. In the wake of Jennifer's disappearance, a massive search effort was launched, with volunteers combing the area and law enforcement agencies conducting interviews and following up on leads. But as days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, Jennifer remained missing, leaving her loved ones grappling with fear and uncertainty. Despite the passage of time, Jennifer's case has never been forgotten. Her disappearance garnered national attention, with media coverage and appeals for information reaching far and wide. But despite the spotlight on her case, answers have remained elusive, and Jennifer's fate remains unknown. Over the years, numerous theories and hypotheses have emerged, each adding another layer of complexity to the mysteries surrounding Jennifer's disappearance. Some speculate that she may have been the victim of a random abduction or a targeted attack, while others entertain the possibility of foul play or a staged disappearance. Despite the lack of concrete answers, Jennifer's family and friends have never given up hope. They continue to advocate for her, tirelessly pushing for answers and justice, determined to unravel the truth of what happened to their beloved daughter, sister, and friend. As the years go by, the disappearance of Jennifer Keese continues to haunt those who knew her and those who have followed her story. And it serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the mysteries that can lurk just beyond our understanding. Until answers are found, Jennifer's case remains an open wound, a testament to the enduring pain of uncertainty and the unwavering determination of those who seek justice on her behalf. The disappearance of Kiren Horman is a haunting and complex tale that has gripped the hearts and minds of people across the nation for over a decade. The story of this young boy's vanishing from his elementary school in Portland, Oregon, on June 4th, 2010, is marked by a series of puzzling events, exhaustive searches, and heartbreaking twists that have left investigators and his loved ones searching for answers to this day. Kiren Horman was just 7 years old when he went missing. On the morning of June 4th, he was dropped off at Skyline Elementary School by his stepmother, Terry Horman, to attend a science fair. It seemed like any other day, with Kiren full of excitement and curiosity about the projects he would see and the friends he would meet. Little did anyone know that it would be the last time Kiren's smiling face would be seen by those who loved him. When the school day ended and Kiren failed to return home, alarm bells began to ring. Concern quickly turned to panic as Kiren's family realized that he was nowhere to be found. They rushed to the school, hoping against hope that he had simply wandered off or gotten lost in the shuffle. But as the minutes turned into hours and there was still no sign of Kiren, the grim reality of his disappearance began to sink in. A massive search effort was launched, with law enforcement agencies, search and rescue teams, and hundreds of volunteers descending on the area to scour every inch of the surrounding landscape. Fields were searched, forests were combed through, and neighborhoods were canvassed. But despite their efforts, Kiren remained elusive. In the days and weeks that followed, the search for Kiren intensified. Flyers bearing his smiling face were plastered on every street corner. Billboards were erected along highways, and his story made headlines across the country. But as the days turned into weeks, and then months, hope began to fade. The investigation into Kiren's disappearance quickly became one of the largest and most complex in Oregon's history. Law enforcement agencies worked tirelessly, following up on leads, conducting interviews, and analyzing evidence in the hopes of uncovering the truth about what happened to Kiren. But despite their best efforts, the case remained mired in uncertainty. One of the most puzzling aspects of Kiren's disappearance is the lack of any concrete leads or evidence. Despite countless tips and potential sightings, none have led to Kiren's whereabouts. There have been rumors and speculation, but no solid leads that could provide the answers his family so desperately seeks. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged about what may have happened to Kiren. Some believe he was abducted by a stranger, while others speculate that he may have wandered off and gotten lost in the wilderness surrounding the school. Still, others entertain the possibility of foul play involving someone known to the family. One theory that gained traction early in the investigation was that Kiren's stepmother, Terry Horman, may have been involved in his disappearance. Suspicion fell on Terry after it was revealed that she had failed a polygraph test and had allegedly exhibited suspicious behavior in the days following Kiren's disappearance. However, Terry has vehemently denied any involvement in Kiren's disappearance and has never been charged with a crime. Despite the lack of closure, Kiren's family has never given up hope. They continue to plead for information and to advocate for their son, holding on to the belief that one day they will get the answers they so desperately seek. For them, the pain of not knowing what happened to Kiren is a daily struggle, but they remain steadfast in their determination to find him and bring him home. The disappearance of Kiren Horman is a tragedy that has left a scar on the community and a hole in the hearts of those who knew and loved him. It serves as a reminder of the vulnerability of children and the importance of never giving up hope in the search for the truth. Until Kiren is found, his case will continue to haunt those who knew him and those who have followed his story, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and unyielding determination. Lars Matan, a 28-year-old man from Germany, embarked on what was supposed to be an ordinary vacation with his friends in Golden Sands, Bulgaria, in June of 2014. Little did he know that this trip would take a bizarre and mysterious turn, leading to his baffling disappearance and leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. The events leading up to Lars's disappearance are as puzzling as they are unsettling. It all began when Lars got into physical altercation at a bar in Golden Sands. During the altercation, Lars sustained a ruptured eardrum, which left him with severe pain and discomfort. Concerned for his well-being, Lars's friends urged him to seek medical attention and offered to accompany him to a nearby hospital. However, Lars refused their assistance, insisting that he would be fine on his own. He checked into a local hotel, but his behavior became increasingly erratic and paranoid. He began expressing fears that he was being followed or chased by unknown individuals, and he became convinced that he was in danger. Despite his friends' attempts to calm him down and reassure him, Lars's anxiety only intensified. In a sudden and inexplicable turn of events, Lars made the decision to leave the hotel and disappear into the night, leaving behind his belongings and his passport. The next day, Lars was spotted on CCTV footage at Varna Airport, where he appeared visibly distressed and disoriented. He was seen pacing back and forth, looking over his shoulder as if he was being pursued by someone or something. In a state of panic, Lars approached airport staff and frantically requested to see a doctor, claiming that he was being followed and that he feared for his life. In a bizarre twist, Lars then fled the airport, leaving his luggage and passport behind. He was last seen running into a nearby forest, disappearing from sight and leaving no trace behind. Despite extensive searches by local authorities and international efforts to locate Lars, he has never been found. His disappearance remains one of the most perplexing and baffling cases in recent memory, leaving investigators and his loved ones grappling with the agonizing uncertainty of his fate. Numerous theories have emerged about what may have happened to Lars. Some speculate that he may have suffered a mental health crisis or a psychotic episode, leading him to flee into the wilderness in a state of delusion. Others entertain the possibility of foul play, suggesting that Lars may have been targeted or abducted by unknown individuals. But without any concrete evidence or leads to follow, Lars Matan's disappearance remains a haunting enigma, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and unyielding hope for his safe return. Until he is found, his case will continue to captivate the imagination and fuel speculation about what really happened to him on that fateful night in Bulgaria. Brian Schaeffer was a 27-year-old medical student at Ohio State University when he disappeared on the night of March 31st, 2006. It was supposed to be a night of celebration with friends, as Brian and his girlfriend were planning to leave for a vacation in Miami the following day. The evening began innocently enough, as Brian and his friend, Clint Florence, visited several bars in the area district of Columbus. They eventually ended up at the Ugly Tuna Saloon, a popular bar near the Ohio State University campus. Security footage captured Brian and Clint entering the bar at around 9:00 p.m., but Brian was never seen leaving. When Brian failed to meet up with his girlfriend as planned and didn't return home, his loved ones grew increasingly worried. They reported him missing to police, sparking an extensive search effort to find him. What made Brian's disappearance particularly puzzling was the fact that the Ugly Tuna Saloon had only one entrance and exit, and security cameras captured every person who entered and left the bar that night. Yet there was no footage of Brian leaving the bar, leading investigators to believe that he may still be inside. A thorough search of the bar, including the basement and surrounding areas, turned up no sign of Brian. Despite interviewing patrons and employees and reviewing hours of surveillance footage, investigators were unable to determine what happened to him. As the days turned into weeks and then months, the search for Brian continued, but no new leads emerged. His family and friends were left grappling with the agonizing uncertainty of his fate, wondering if they would get the answers they so desperately sought. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged about what may have happened to Brian. Some speculate that he may have met with foul play inside the bar, while others entertain the possibility that he staged his own disappearance and assumed a new identity. However, without any concrete evidence to support these theories, Brian's case remains unsolved. Despite the passage of time, Brian Schaeffer's disappearance continues to haunt those who knew him and those who have followed his story. It serves as a stark reminder of the mysteries that can lurk just beyond our understanding and the enduring pain of not knowing what happened to a loved one. Until Brian is found, his case will remain an open wound, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and unyielding hope for resolution. Thank you so much for listening to all of the stories in this video. I hope you enjoyed them. I also hope that you enjoy the extra rain at the end. Get a good night's sleep, everyone, and I'll read to you in the next video. Bye-bye now.